Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by our little spot to hang out with us today. If you like the music on this channel, go to our YouTube music channel at Drizzlerworks Music, or just click on the link in this video. There we have calming and study music to chill out to or for your next grind. Your support helps us reach good people like yourself. So with that said, perseverance. It's a word that carries deep weight, an invisible force that quietly shapes destinies. Today I want to talk about why perseverance can become the single most powerful tool in your journey when life pushes back hard. We all hit moments where giving up feels easier than going on. But if you can hold on, dig deep, and move forward with grit, then you can overcome challenges that once looked impossible. Think about history's greatest stories, not the ones of overnight success, but of ordinary people who refused to quit. Thomas Edison didn't magically stumble into the light bulb. He failed thousands of times first. It wasn't luck that pushed him through, it was persistence. Nelson Mandela survived 27 years in prison before walking free and leading a nation. J.K. Rowling was rejected by publisher after publisher before Harry Potter became a worldwide phenomenon. What all these examples show us is simple. Success bows to perseverance, not talent alone, not opportunity alone, perseverance. But here's the thing. Perseverance isn't just about waiting out hardship. It's an active process. It's about waking up and showing up, even when your energy runs thin. It's taking that extra step when your legs feel too heavy, or rewriting the page for the 10th time until you finally strike gold. It's standing back up when life knocks you down for what feels like the 100th time. Perseverance whispers, yes, you can, even when doubt screams louder. Now let's pause and picture this. A college student who works 2 jobs, studies until late at night, and feels the weight of exhaustion every single day. On the surface, it seems impossible. But by taking it one assignment at a time, one exam at a time, that person eventually walks the stage at graduation. Perseverance turns sleepless nights into a degree. Or picture the athlete who tears a muscle, spends months in recovery, and comes back stronger. Not simply because of physical therapy, but because they refuse to let the injury be their ending. Perseverance transforms damage into triumph. The truth is, perseverance is not glamorous. It doesn't trend on social media. It happens quietly behind the scenes. Those hours when no one is watching, those small choices nobody claps for, those days when you're grinding through invisible battles. Most victories are born in silence long before anyone notices. If you find yourself working hard without applause, keep going. That's where perseverance blooms. So how do you fuel perseverance? First, by remembering why you started. Having a crystal clear why creates an anchor in your journey. When the storm comes, that why is what holds you steady. Write it down, speak it out loud, tattoo it into your memory if you have to. Because without a strong reason, perseverance easily fades. But with one, you become unstoppable. Second, embrace small wins. A mountain may look terrifying when you stand at the bottom, but if you only focus on the next step, it becomes possible. Perseverance lives in those tiny, consistent actions. Reading one more page, making one more call, practicing one more hour. Stack these wins long enough, and suddenly you transform what seemed impossible into reality. Third, redefine failure. Don't think of failure as the opposite of perseverance. It's proof that you're still in the fight. Every setback teaches, redirects, and carves new paths. Every no you hear gets you closer to the right yes. The key difference between someone who quits and someone who wins is not in the number of failures, but in their willingness to rise again each time. Fourth, surround yourself with grit-driven people. Energy is contagious. Spend time with those who refuse to quit, and their fire will fuel yours. Stories of others climbing out of their own struggles remind us, if they did it, so can we. And remember, perseverance doesn't always look flashy. It often looks like quiet consistency over time. Silent, powerful, and unmovable. Another tip, practice chunking. If you look at a challenge in one massive block, it feels impossible. But if you break it into small, conquerable chunks, you trick your mind into progress. Think of writing a book. Don't focus on 300 pages. Focus on one page today, then another tomorrow. Perseverance is the daily deposit, not the final reward. And here's something most people forget. Perseverance also means adjusting when necessary. It's not blind stubbornness. True perseverance combines discipline with wisdom. If one path blocks you repeatedly, don't be afraid to pivot, learn, and try again. The goal never changes, just the strategy. Remember, rivers carve through stone not because of force, but because of consistent flow and flexible redirection. Most importantly, give yourself grace. Perseverance doesn't mean being perfect every day. Some days you'll stumble, some days you'll pause. That's okay. True perseverance allows room for rest, reflection, and recovery. Because strength isn't just about pushing through non-stop, it's also about knowing when to breathe, realign, then keep pressing forward. You're human, not a machine, and that humanity is exactly what makes perseverance so powerful. One of my favorite stories of perseverance is about a man named Colonel Harlan Sanders. Most people know him today for Kentucky Fried Chicken, but few know his struggle. At the age of 65, after his restaurant failed, he was living on a tiny Social Security check. Most people his age would have given up, but instead he decided to knock on doors, offering his chicken recipe to restaurants. He was rejected more than 1,000 times. Imagine the sting of hearing no again and again at that stage of life. But he kept going, and on the 1,009th attempt, someone finally said yes. Today, his recipe exists in over 150 countries. His secret wasn't just the chicken, it was perseverance. Another story comes from Wilma Rudolph, who was born prematurely, the 20th of 22 children. As a young girl, she contracted polio and was told she would never walk again. She wore braces on her legs until age 12. But she refused to accept that fate. Through relentless determination, she not only walked, she ran, and later became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in a single Olympic Games. That kind of victory doesn't come from comfort. It comes from perseverance against impossible odds. And then there's the story of Bethany Hamilton, a young surfer who, at just 13 years old, lost her arm in a shark attack. Most people would have abandoned the ocean forever, but perseverance would not let her quit. With grit, prayer, and practice, she returned to surfing, this time with one arm, and within 2 years she was winning competitions again. Her comeback wasn't just about surfing, it was about showing the world that courage and perseverance make anything possible. These stories remind us of something vital. Perseverance isn't reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It belongs to anyone who decides not to quit. It belongs to people like you and me, standing tall in our everyday battles. Now let me ask you, what challenge are you facing right now that feels too heavy? Imagine the future you, a stronger version of yourself, looking back at this exact moment. That version of you is proud. Why? Because instead of quitting here, you decided to keep going. You endured, you pushed, and life rewarded you for it. Challenges are not roadblocks, they're training grounds. Every obstacle you face is sculpting resilience, building a character that can withstand storms. Every difficult chapter is writing a story worth telling. And perseverance? That's the ink that will write your victory ending. So raise your head, breathe deep, straighten your shoulders, and keep pressing forward. The path won't always be clear, and the load won't always be light, but whoever you are, wherever you're listening from, remember this. Yes, you can conquer hard challenges. Perseverance makes it possible. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. I have more videos, so feel free to watch them as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you. See you in the next video.